I have failed at business and life many times, but I'm in the position where I've stopped being worried about failure and I've learned to embrace it. And I'm going to share with you exactly where I failed in business and how I ended a business that was making £250,000 a year, and what I've learned and what I'm going to do next. I wanted to do this video today for any of you guys watching who are scared to try something because of the idea of failure. I'm going to tell you now that it can be your superpower if you learn from it and use it wisely. So in my early 20s, I decided that I wanted to start selling hair extensions. I wanted to start a business. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have an idea, but I had a really cool product and had a really good supplier. And what I loved about myself back then is that I was very naive. And I think there's something about being naive and almost like a little bit incompetent that's actually a superpower and a super skill, because I never overthinked what was business, how does it work, how am I going to get it happening. I didn't think like that. I just thought, oh, I want to sell some hair extensions. I kind of like this. And I had no plan, no vision, no investment. I had a bit of money and a good product idea, and I just wanted to sell it. At that time in my early 20s, I just took massive action and I was insane. Like now I wouldn't be able to do that because I think I have more concerns. But back then I was like, you know what? Yeah, sure. I'm going to send £3,000 to this random person in Asia, buy stock, have no plans on how to sell it, do a photo shoot and make some money on it, without knowing anything about business. I knew nothing about logistics, setting up stuff, SKUs and whatever. I just knew that I had an idea. So I actually ended up investing my money, buying stock, shipping it into the UK, spending about £3,500 and being like, okay, what am I going to do next? And I ended up setting up a Shopify website with ease, right? Shout out to Shopify, who are my sponsors. And I'll be honest with you, I was not that technical, though I had a blog before, though I had run a few websites, I knew a bit about HTML, but I was like, well, I need a website, right? And I need a domain. And so I use Shopify to really set up a really quick and easy online store myself. And I will shout out Shopify to this day based on its ease of use. More about them later on in this video. So then I was like, I want to get my friend, my hairdresser together and let's do a photo shoot. And I did a photo shoot and I was like, oh my God, these images are absolutely amazing. I think everybody's going to love this. And I did have a small YouTube channel at the time. It wasn't that massive, but then I was like, okay, I'm going to talk about this to my audience. I'm going to tell them about my hair extensions, and I'm going to also get other creators I know and get them to promote my product as well. And the one thing that I wanted to do was introduce a different way of buying hair extensions in the market. So back in the day, I remember that everybody would sell hair extensions based on, say, a race. So you get Chinese hair, Indian hair, Brazilian hair, Peruvian hair, all this kind of stuff. And I thought it was very strange that we were marketing the value of hair based on like a racial preference. I just hated that. So I wanted to make sure that we were selling hair based on a texture preference. So did you want deep curls? Did you want loose curls? Did you want a yaki? Did you want a kinky? Did you want something that would hold a bounce? And we named our products based on curves, waves, and sleeks. I believe that was what it was. And that was my new marketing method. Beside that, I had no other plan. What was insane to me is that actually I was making probably £10,000 to £20,000 straight off the back on a monthly basis. We were selling out, we were going out of stock. And at the time, because I had no business plan, I was like, getting my cousin, getting my sister, help me run this business. I've got some money. And then my sister got a friend and we were all like kind of rushing stuff. And I'll be very honest with you, at the time, I wasn't entirely focused. And as I mentioned, I didn't necessarily have a plan when it came to selling the items, but they were selling. Inevitably, I learned a little bit more about 3PLs, logistics companies, and also getting the companies to deliver the items to the warehouses, shipping these out, customer services, labeling, packaging, doing certain things with the manufacturer, so on and so forth, and also like developing new products. This is something that I started to do over the course of a year to 2 years. And we were selling and we were making over, I think the first year was about £120,000, and maybe up into the next year we were really getting into the £200,000 mark. And then I stopped. And the reason why I stopped was actually because I became very overwhelmed. And this is a crazy thing to say. I was like, I'm making money, but I don't really know what I want to do with it or have a plan on how to scale it and to utilize the audience and the customers that I had who liked the products. And so I was like, you know what, this is a lot, and I stopped. I personally did not feel like I had the capacity to keep going, but also there were other things that I was doing on the side that was doing really well. I was getting really successful as an online creator. Some of my other stuff was kind of popping off, and I was making 250 here thousand a year, which is insane. Okay, that's an insane amount of money. I was literally in my mid-20s making a $250,000 a year, and I couldn't see the value in that. Like, as I just think, what, am I crazy? And I was like, this business takes too much effort, too much time, too much brain, whatever. Let it go. And I also did not believe in that business because I thought, oh my God, you're selling hair extensions. That's not a tech brand. That's not a whatever. But it was a profitable business that had customers, and I couldn't see the value in it. And I look back on it and really recognize that that was one of my big business mistakes, is not appreciating the small part, the humble beginnings of the journey. So I let it go for 5 reasons. I felt overwhelmed. I didn't know how to build and manage a team. I got greedy because it felt like it wasn't enough for what I wanted in the long term. And I was impatient. And because of the impatience, I didn't have vision of where the company could have gone. And today, I've seen multiple companies, hair extensions companies, who came after my hair extensions company, who sold in the 7, 8, 9-figure category. And I've kicked myself many a time and thinking, Patricia, you had something really good then, but you didn't see it effectively. Giving up that business then was one of my biggest business failures, but it's something that I didn't regret because I really believe in the idea of the right time is going to come along, and that wasn't the right time or the right business for me. But off the back of that, I was able to learn a whole load of things to really help me execute in other areas. I've also learned about the power of timing. I was very early in the game when it came to hair extensions back then, 7, 8 years, even up to 9 years ago. It was something that there was very low penetration for. There wasn't a ton of brands, especially not in the UK, who were selling hair extensions to the kind of demographic that I wanted to sell to in the way that I was selling it for. So there were definitely skills in that area that I learned, but one of the key things I learned about failing and letting go there was that I needed to be focused and dedicated to what I wanted to do next. So I want to share some lessons learned from 20-year-old me who started a business and failed based on some of her own actions. And I think this will be really valuable for any of you guys who are thinking about starting something but maybe are nervous. Number 1, you don't have to have all the answers and the vision super clear. I can tell you now that back then I wasn't as smart as I am now, but the one thing I would try. I would just go ahead and do stuff even if I didn't have all the answers. And I was able to just find the answers and tools pretty easily by searching online. A lot of us get into this place where we think we need to have everything ready, all the answers, all the investment, all the business knowledge, and everything ready, but sometimes things aren't all ready and they will fall into place naturally. The best thing you want to do is to actually just start and take small action. And 20-year-old Pat was pretty good at doing that back then. Find online platforms and tools that are super simple and easy to use. And again, back then, when it came to setting up a website, building an online store, there were not a lot of options, but Shopify was the best option that I found until today that made it very easy and accessible, and it made it feel possible to create my own store. I couldn't have a physical shop and do pop-ups, but online, I was able to do a photo shoot, upload images, put prices in, work with 3PLs and fulfillment companies, ship out my products across the world, and turn over thousands every single month. Shopify was a game changer for me in terms of realizing I could do this myself. I didn't have to hire a web team or a tech team or this person or a consultant. I was doing it by myself with absolute ease. I know it's so easy to set up your own online stores with a number of different plugins to connect to your social media sites or your own blogs or your own products. Even if you have digital products, Shopify is an amazing place to start that is simple, easy, and accessible and affordable. For a small price on a monthly basis, you can have your own store and sell to the world. For me, it was a game changer then, and I think is a game changer for anybody who's thinking about starting a business now. You do not have to be afraid because there are really great tools like Shopify today to allow you to launch what you want to. The next lesson I learned was to respect every single dollar and also every single customer. I can tell you now that customer service was pretty hard for me to do, and I did try and outsource it quite a lot, and I had amazing customers and repeat customers, but as I mentioned, I did get overwhelmed because I didn't have systems and processes in place to allow me to deal with the clients, right? And to deal with my customers who would give me amazing feedback as well as, ideas of what they wanted next. They were like, we want more, and I was like, Take each day at a time, as well as create systems and processes in place to allow you to scale up. Build a strong team and a network of cheerleaders around you. Now, I won't say that I didn't have a strong team. However, not all of us were as skilled and equipped, especially in e-commerce business, we had no skills. We had no skills in e-commerce. Okay, that was the truth of the matter. So it was a lot of us just scrambling and learning on the job, which meant that we got a little bit burnt out, and we were trying, but we should have actually taken some training or built a network around us of people with a bit more experience. Maybe I wouldn't have given up if I had a bit of a better network of people who were doing this, who could give me the encouragement to move forward with what I was doing. So get people around you who make you feel confident, who make you feel informed, or get the insights that you need if you're thinking about building something or creating something, but you don't know everything that you need to know. You may never know everything you need to know. You learn as you go, and you adapt, and you have to change as well. Another lesson I learned was to not get greedy. If I had focused and gone deep on the hair extensions brand, I'm not sure where I'd be today. But I was distracted by the other things that I was doing, and they've been successful, they've been great. But there is this thought in the back of my head, which is, where would your business be today if you had kept it going? And I'm gonna leave that thought, and I'm gonna say, you know what, I have no regrets. I love the opportunity to fail because it's an opportunity to learn. If there's one statement that has lived with me for a long time, is actually to fail fast. And that's something I live by. If you are scared to try something, just try it. Try it quickly. And if it isn't working, drop and start again. But the worst thing you want to do is live in regret, not trying the things that are in your heart and your mind to do. You want to push forward, push through the fear, and make something happen for yourself. Listen, we've all been there. We learn our lessons and we move on. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.